Now for the latest as Southwest Airlines cancels flights, leaving people scrambling to change their plans. Western Mass News reporter Glenn Kittle joins us live from Bradley International Airport, where those cancellations are having effects locally. Glenn.
Yeah, Mary, people that I spoke with today describing a nightmare at the airport filled with flight cancellations, struggles to book a place to sleep, and even some people finding that their luggage ended up halfway across the country. Holiday travelers were scrambling to find a new flight home after the holidays due to Southwest Airlines canceling up to 90% of their flights nationwide since Christmas. Here at Bradley International Airport, travelers tell Western Mass News they're spending thousands of dollars to find a flight home.
We're supposed to be going to my mom's right now, but we spent another hour and a half here trying to figure out where our bags are, trying to figure out how to get back. We spent over like $1,500 too just trying to get here.
Craig and Carrie Frost are traveling from San Francisco. They tell Western Mass News Southwest canceled their connecting flight to Bradley mid-air. They ended up booking an American Airlines flight to get to Bradley, but Southwest had lost their luggage nearly halfway across the country.
We still do not have our luggage. It probably won't get it until after the new year, and they're going to ship it to our house, supposedly.
In a statement, Southwest Airlines says they're working to resolve the holiday flight meltdown, saying in part, "We were fully staffed and prepared for the approaching holiday weekend when the severe weather swept across the continent. As we continue to work to recover our operation, we have made the decision to continue operating a reduced schedule by flying roughly 1/3 of our flight schedule for the next several days." The U.S. Department of Transportation took to Twitter to comment on the widespread cancellations, saying, U.S. Department of Transportation is concerned by Southwest's unacceptable rate of cancellations and delays and reports of a lack of prompt customer service. The department will examine whether cancellations were controllable and if Southwest is complying with its customer service plan. Flyers tell Western Mass News they're thinking twice before booking Southwest Airlines in the future.
We probably won't fly near Christmas again.
I don't want to fly at all, really, but not Southwest for sure.
Folks that I spoke with today also say that they couldn't book another flight with Southwest until next week. Coming up at 6, we have advice for people that may have already had their flights booked. Reporting live at Bradley International Airport, Glenn Kittle, Western Mass News.